This is the Dr. Meleeka Show. Dr. Meleeka has a background as a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. The Dr. Meleeka Show will help move you towards bettering the quality of your life with positive psychology. So please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order!
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I would like to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive.
This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K and Mr. E paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome, fam. Welcome. Oh, my gosh. First of all, I have to give praise. Thank you, God, for giving me another day to be able to do this show. And I'm just so blessed on that. And, you know, I really appreciate him very much. So I got to give him praise. Well, I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving and had a wonderful time gathering with family and friends. And, you know, because that's what we do. Thanksgiving to me is almost like every day, because we should appreciate the friends and family and gatherings that every day we get an opportunity to do just that. With, you know, because not everybody can get together all the time. So if you have to pick this one holiday to do so, great, so be it. But remember, you can pick your holiday every day and have a gathering. You just got to try to take some time and do just that. You know, today is an interesting segment because, you know, there's things I want to talk about, and it has to do with daily life, of course. But before I do that, I do want to say thank you again, fans, for seeing the movie 3 Corners of Deception that is available on Prime Video, because I've noticed that is so many people watching the movie. So I'm very blessed and happy of that. And it helps me to release what went on with me and what's going on. And just sharing my experiences and my testimonies, it just helps me so much. So I just want to give you kudos. Thank you for your support, because without you, I wouldn't be able to feel as comfortable to share and caring. So I'm so glad that you're able to go and watch the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it is available on Prime Video. You can just Google Dr. Meleeka Clary. You'll find it. Check out the IMDb. You will be able to check out this movie. And follow me. And you also check on my website. It's available up there to find out information on the drmeleekaclary.com. You know, so it just would be really, really great for you. Yes. So And also, if you are calling in, you can check out the number 866-451-1451. If you want to call in and chat, that's fine too. I just saw that, so I believe that is a available number if you want to go ahead and call and chat with me. And if you don't feel like chatting today, there's future chats. You will be able to do that as well. So just to let you know that that is some information. Let me repeat the number again, 866-451-1451. All right. Okay. So you know what? I really want to be, one thing I have to is be honest to you. We talk about positive psychology a lot because I'm a clinical psychologist, but here's the thing about that. I'm also a human being. So that means I go through things that, you just don't know what the day is going to welcome. And, I remember, maybe a day or so, I didn't feel like getting up. You're probably like, why? There's a lot of things that goes on that I have no control of. And it just doesn't make you feel like you want to get up and deal with anything. But I have to remember, and one thing I know that a smart psychologist for it or something, your experiences, what you go through, you have to also share that. So that'll make you stronger. So with me telling you to get up out of the bed and try to find a reason, I have to do that same thing. So it's almost like I have to listen to my own information to get up that out of that bed and do something. Regardless if it's what's going on and I don't have control of it, I still have to find a positive and get up out of that bed and try to do something productive that day. And I know there's people out there that feel like that you don't want to get up, you don't want to do anything. But here's the thing, what gets me going, I have to find my mission. And here's my mission. It's to share information and to feel like, hey, okay, I'm not perfect, but I may be going through this and somebody else is going through something too. That means that we're human beings and we will feel these feelings. And there's sometimes a depressing feeling, because if you have a situation in your life, if it's a bill or something, or if it's a death in the family, or if it's a lost job, or it's a court matter, I know things take time and you don't know that you feel like you can't change it at that moment. Because like I told you before, the human flesh is so impatient. I feel that way too. I feel like, whoa, I can't do nothing about this situation right now. So I just got to sit and just ponder. That's okay. I mean, I say that and I get off on this tube here and this platform, and I still got to remember those words. It's okay. And you know what? Just think about, your children, or think about what your mission is. Think about helping other people. And sometimes that really does it for me. If I'm sharing you the information with you, what I've been through or what I'm going through makes me feel more content about how I feel. Yeah, I wasn't feeling great. I was feeling depressive. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm a human being too. The trials and tribulations I go through, I'm not exempt from that. I wish I was. But as long as you're living in this world, you're going to go through some stuff. That's the glory of it. You're going to go through it. But here's the thing that I also have to think about. Is it a permanent situation? Is it a temporary situation? And, it's a temporary situation. It gets me, though, because I feel like, wow, this is really getting me. It's getting me to feel like I'm not motivated to do anything. And I want to continue to talk to you about these feelings because you're not alone. And on that note, we're going to take a brief commercial on the Bold and Brave, on the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, fam. We'll be right back. Hello, all. Three Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that Three Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all. It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because at that time, because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayed. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back, fam. You know what? It's so wonderful, like I said, to do this and just release. Before we went on commercial, I was talking about, hey, depressing days. And I say they're depressing. But here's the thing about it. You have to think about the good things. And I know that's easy, said than done. Here's the thing. I had to do that. And I'm not going to kid. I felt like I didn't want to share any information. I didn't want to talk. I just want to sleep and just lay in that bed. But what got me out of that bed, and I have to say this to you, friends, family, because they know that something is wrong. I mean, some real close people that love you and care just know that something's going on, and they're not going to stop until they get the answer. And when I say no judging, because, everybody's situation is different. It's like, when something's going wrong, some people might feel like, that's all right. There's nothing, I can deal with that. But that's not you. Like, everybody has their own situations and their own, feelings towards that situation. You feel lost at that moment. But I have some good surrounding people in my little circle, and they weren't going for it. They were not going for it. And that's one thing I love, because when you share and you talk about things, there's people out there that's welcome to talk to you. Now, like I said, therapy is very good. You need to seek that. If you're feeling more days like that, please go seek therapy. And you can always contact me and I will get you the help that you need. And I'm always available when it comes to that. I always do intakes and find information for you, or a therapist or someone to help you in your area. I might not be in your state, but that doesn't stop me from finding someone to help you if you're ever feeling that way. And a lot of times we are feeling that way. Sometimes you can't share the information with your friends. Well, you just don't feel like it. And I didn't feel like it at all. I was just had some really pushy family members that was like, that's not you. You know what I mean? So it's really wonderful that I was able to share how I was feeling, because I wasn't feeling well. I mean, I really wasn't. I had a bad moment, and it's just taking me that day. And I just was like, because there's nothing I can do about it. I got to wait for other people to do things for me to say, okay, this is a resolved situation. And that's what I feel powerless when it comes to that. But like I said, there's ways to deal with that. And I deal with them all the time too. But I have to let you know, do not isolate yourself. That's something I even have to learn that. Don't isolate yourself, because those thoughts come to your mind that might not be healthy at that moment, because you have a temporary situation. It's not a permanent situation. It's temporary. When I say temporary, that's how you feeling today. See, I didn't feel like that day before that. I felt fine. I was great. Then here you go this day. And then it was like, oh my gosh, what is this about? See, that's what I mean. I just have to explain to you, stay in it. Just try to go through it. And like I said, what helped me, I thought about my children. I was thinking, okay, what can I do for them? What's going on? Let me call some people. And that's another thing. I started calling people, started talking. See, I started talking. Before I didn't want to talk. But then I started talking. And all that feelings and all of the emotions was starting to release. I felt it just lift. Why? Because I was letting go, or I was sharing, and I was just letting people know how I was feeling. And I realized that no one judged me. There was no judging. And I love that. And I have to say that to you because I know there's people out there that you want to share information, but we as people together, please don't judge. I know it's a situation. It might doesn't seem bad to you, but everybody takes things differently. It's bad to that individual. So I think we should all try to have sympathy. Be sympathetic to somebody's feelings. Don't be so quick to say, yeah, okay, I heard this before. You may, but it's still something that person's going through. And they just don't feel like going through it. But don't let them go through it alone. And that's the thing about we all as a people, don't let them go through it alone. If you can't help them, now I understand you're not a psychologist or psychiatrist or a therapist or clinician. Just try to lead them a different way. Say something positive. But the main thing I tell you people, when you are feeling that way, don't be alone. And I say that from experience. Your mind takes you on a venture. It's like a different type of trip that you don't even want to go. And you don't need no ticket for thinking like that. There's no flight ticket for that because you just feel bad and you just feel helpless and sad. Don't be by yourself. Don't sit there. Don't stay in the bed. Get up. Because I too had to do that. And I had to look in the mirror and say, okay, what's all the good things? Tell me something good. And sometimes I had to tell myself that and convince myself, what is those good things that I love so much? And start doing something, because you doing nothing just makes you more depressed. And it makes you more feel isolated. Don't do that to yourself. And I'm telling you this because I am one of those individuals too. You are no different than me. Only thing different, if you're not a doctor, that's what I am. But as far as that, you're still a human being, and I'm a human being. So you think I'm exempt for feeling something? You think I'm exempt for feeling emotions and depression and sadness and isolation of what I can do, put myself into? No. Thoughts? No. I'm not exempt from that. I have them too. Every day is a challenge because, like I said to you before, you just never know what you're going into. You don't know what that day, you set your mind and say, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be great. I'm going to get this done. And then boom, something else just hits you. And you're just like, forget everything that you thought you was going to do. Oh yeah, I feel like that too. Cancel this, cancel that, cancel this. I don't feel like it. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's still something that's getting you down. That's the problem. It's getting to you. And what we got to do together, my friends, is try not to allow that. Think about the positive. Because I'm in there with you. I'm in there with you. You are not alone. We are not alone. So with that being said, I'm going to take a brief commercial, and I'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Be right back, fam. Don't go nowhere.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense Radio Show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is, because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm gonna keep on telling stories. And that is why I like film, because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that it's because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back. Yes, before we went on break, I was talking about how I'm not exempt from the feelings and emotions and the trials and tribulations that we go through in this life. With that being said, I do a lot of things right now. I'm always being interviewed on somebody's platform, which is wonderful, and explaining my story or explaining why, as being a psychologist, and why I like helping people. And over the time, I have interviewed with Maurice Bernard, which she plays Sunny on General Hospital. It's a soap opera. And that just came out recently, so go check it out, State of Minds. That is his platform. And, I want to say something about the conversation that we was having. I had mentioned some things that about, just communications and things that people need to know, and how we can make a change together. And one thing we talked about was bullying. And let me talk about that for a second, because more than a second, actually. Let me tell you something. Bullying, to me, that's a bad thing. I want to make sure that everyone understands what bullying is. If you're having a bad day or you don't like your life, you have no right to bully another person, to torture another person because you're not feeling great about your life. And that's not good. That's not good. So let's go to a childhood, because one thing I think I've explained it on this platform, that I used to be bullied, and I was bullied from children that evidently, I don't know what was going on in their home, but they didn't like something just to pick on me. And the things that they would pick on and try to do things to make me feel bad about myself is that I always wore these bifocal glasses, real thick ones. That's what. Now I had the laser done, but still, after 40, you need some glasses, some reading glasses. But I had the surgery done. But here's the thing that really stays with me in my childhood. I know kids are kids, they're going to do bad things, good things, whatever. But here's when, as a parent, I think we can educate other children or your children or your child to not bully another person just because they can or the way they look. Why bully somebody the way they look? If a person doesn't look pretty to you, that doesn't mean they're not. If they have a disability, wearing glasses is a disability. I mean, that means there's something wrong with my vision. I can't see well. And when I say that I was bullied, I mean, I remember this guy, well, he would do, yeah, he know who he is. And don't get me wrong, I like him now, but we grew up, but still, it still was something that stayed with me. He took my glasses and stepped on them. I couldn't see a darn thing. I was so unhappy about that situation. And then I couldn't see. That made me feel like if you can't see, you feel like you are off your game. And I could not see. And the glasses were broke. They were like broke. I had needed my dad to come out and look for the pieces to put them together or see if what we can do. And that was years ago. And my dad, he did come out and we were looking for them glasses, boy. He made me feel so loved because he was going to find them glasses today. We're going to find them glasses today because he know he probably had to buy some more. But it made me feel happy just to know my daddy wanted to help me and make his little girl happy to find her glasses so she can see. I have to share that moment because that was a highlight of that moment. Well, with that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Be right back, fam. Because you mentioned and said, I believe in God and I surrendered. And when someone is addicted to something, it's a challenge. It's tough. What was that moment that you said, I can't do it anymore?
Well, in book number 2, I talk about how I've been to prison. My prison number is 589931. I'll have that number for the rest of my life. It's just not a functional number. I talk about how I was delivered from a homosexual lifestyle. I talk about how I had a man that left me for another man. I talk about how I had a man that was HIV but never told me, but I'm sitting here today. I don't have AIDS, HIV. And I have a lot of people always say, your immune system was so strong. No, that was the blood of Jesus that covered me.
Hello, all. 3 Corners of Deception movie is now available on Prime Video. How about that? October 14, 2023, on my 50th birthday, I am going to release this, and you guys can go ahead and help me do just that. Go see that movie. Thank you for all the support and not giving up on me. Go see that 3 Corners of Deception. Release me from all the pain and everything I've been through. Go see the movie. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for all of the support. Go see that movie. Prime Video. Prime Video. How about that? God bless you all. I love you all. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back, fam. Welcome back. Well, before we went on break, I was talking about how bullying impacts someone's, their behavior or child upbringing or something like that. And I was telling you how my dad made me feel a lot better of what this bully did. I think that as a whole, We as parents, people say, this generation is off. Well, you can impact this generation. Let's talk about how a person should treat another person in the home. How about turning off the phones for a minute? How about having a conversation one-on-one with your child, with your young child? If you got some young children that are in the middle, I think middle school, I want to say where it really starts, or even in elementary. We can go further than that because I remember there was some things going on in elementary now, and I didn't like it. Let's have a conversation with our children and explain them how hurting somebody or doing something bad to another person can impact them mentally. And I think that we need to have these conversations with our children, because how are they knowing? I mean, if we don't say something about it. Because and don't get me wrong, some of these children probably seen something in the home. If they have a sibling, maybe their sibling is bullying them, so they feel that they need to bully somebody else. See, that's a learned behavior, folks. So we got to be careful. Even your siblings, if you're really torturing your sibling, how do you think that child's going to act out? That child's going to act out on somebody else because that might be happening. Or if they're seeing that from a parent, or a parent's doing it to another parent. It's a learned behavior. People are copycats. And it's just like, for example, fashion. You see something you like, maybe your favorite movie star, you might go buy that. Or a hairstyle or something. You may want to look like that. See, that's a learned behavior. You're looking at something, you're feeling some way. So it will go back into also teaching your children how not to hurt another person. Even if you're an adult, why hurt another person just because you can? I mean, don't get me wrong, they're allowing you. But there's just some people that's not as strong to feel like, okay, that's, I don't agree, but whatever. Some people just take it and take it. I don't think you have a right to do that or make somebody feel that bad. And why? Why do it? That's my thing. Okay, you're having a bad day. You're not feeling very well. That makes it right for you to make somebody else feel bad because misery like company. Come on. Let's stop doing that, because that's not right. And I also think that if it is happening in your home, you're teaching your child to do that to another person. And they're going to think that that is right behavior because mommy and daddy did it. Now, you may not want to admit that you bullying or you doing something to somebody, but that child is seeing it in the home, seeing you do something that's not right, and they're going to be a copycat. I tell people all the time, when you were first born in this world, who do you think the biggest celebrities to that person is? Mom and dad. And I say that because when you go to school, the teacher always asks, who you admire? A lot of children say, my dad or my mommy, because they do this and mommy takes care of me and daddy plays with me and they do this. See, in their eyes, you're the biggest thing in their world. Mommy, daddy, 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 mommy, however, whatever makes a family, or auntie, uncle, it's still, you're the biggest inspiration to that child. So because you are, let's educate this child and let them know, don't hurt another person. How about try being nice? If you don't have any nice things to say, don't say anything at all. You know what? Because you're making somebody else feel bad. See, just think about it. You got a child who did nothing to you, but you're making that individual feel bad about themselves. Why? Because whatever's going on at home, you want to do it. And I have to say that because even if a child's seen it from other children, it's not right. But they're learning that. How do the parent know that if your child is doing something that's not right? Because they're not going to tell you. You have to communicate. That means you got to communicate. Stop what you're doing. I know, it's kind of hard. You're both working, takes two incomes to make a deal, and you got to survive. But I always got to say this. The child never asked to be here, parents. So I think for us as parents, we should give it to ourselves and give that some type of definition. The child didn't ask to be here. So to me, you need to do your job and communicate and ask that child what's going on in your world. And if they don't want to talk about it, try to make them. Like I'm saying, do something entertaining. Go, you could do some stuff, like go walking or something. Hey, let's go walk. You Until this child is like 18 years old, I feel like you have the right to tell them, let's go. Okay? That's how I feel. You still got that right. Let's go. Turn off the TV. Boom. We're going to walk. Let's talk. Let me tell you, folks, if you take that approach, that is tough love. They will respect that more so. Why? Because you're stopping to take a minute to get to know your kid. You may not like to know everything, because I'm going to tell you something. I do that. And I don't know what be coming out of my children's mouth. I got adult kids and I got an adolescent. Ooh, do they be talking? And I be like, listen, like, oh, I didn't bargain for that one. No judging. See, there you go. That's how they feel, and if I want to have a communication, process, if communicate with them effectively, then I got to effectively listen to them, even if I don't like what comes out of their mouth. Because I'm like, I don't know about that one. Because this generation now, it's a whole different thing from when I was growing up. But that's okay. There was still different challenges I had to go through. So I still could relate. I can relate to what's going on. And I can, we can share how I'm feeling and you're feeling about your situation. I'm not just a psychologist. I'm a parent. And my responsibility as a parent is to talk to my child and my adult children, to lead them to whatever information they need from me. They can suck me dry because I'm here for them. That's how I feel. I'm here for them. That is my offspring. That is my children that did not ask to be here. I wanted them to hear. I wanted them here. So that's my job. And with that note, we're going to take a brief commercial, and I'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere, fam. Be right back. It was really hard for me to do that movie sometime because 10 years ago is what I went through. It wasn't then. So I had to take, even they say you play yourself. It's not really always easy to play yourself. You have to play yourself 10 years ago when your mind was discombobulated and you felt betrayed. You know what I mean? You felt like, life was just not it. And, not in my situation. And it is based on true events. And, unfortunately, it's about judicial deception, but it's also about romance and drama and divorce. It's something that just went to a different way. But as I changed it and went into a movie. But what's interesting about this situation, people don't understand. It's a flow technique for me. That was my release to finish this movie. It was because of me having a voice and saying something about what had happened to me, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that these individuals put their good name and their reputation on the line just to hurt somebody because they spoke up. Yes, see, that's what happens when you speak up. I get it, but I'm not fearful because of that. Even though I went through a lot and still go through a lot of things, I got God on my side, and I feel like if that is not enough, then I don't know what it is, because I'm still standing and I'm still telling my story, and I'm going to keep on telling stories. And that is why I like film, because film, you'll be able to express things that you went through and experiences and people. You'll be amazed what you can do. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Before I left break, I was talking about communications and with your children. And I have to stick on the children because aren't they the young generation of you? I mean, aren't they the ones that you want is to outlive you, and whatever teachings you taught them, they can go ahead and lead? So if that is the case, why don't we make a positive impact? Why don't we take the time? I mean, we got these goals we want. I mean, you know, you want to be better at your job. You want to get the good position. You want to get the big house. You want to get the luxury car because it looks like you made it in this world. But if you got so much power and so much goal and so much drive for that, why don't we switch it a little bit and start tuning into these kids and think about, here's one of my goals. I want him to be, my son to be a better boy too, so he could be a better man. I want him to treat himself good, but also treat others good. I want him to be respectful. I want him to learn how to care. I want him to also cry if he has to. If he feels like crying, cry. I want her to love. I want her to feel like she can be loved and she's worthy. I want her to be not afraid of anybody. I want her to express herself, to let people know how she's feeling. I want her to show that, hey, you can be tough, but you can be vulnerable, but that's okay. I want that for my children. I want you not to feel that you don't have opportunities in this world, but you got to share to them how you feel, and so they can share how they feel. Maybe they didn't get the position at the cheerleading team, and she's bad because why? Why is she mad? She feel bad, but you got to ask her why. What's going on? What are you doing to not get that position? Because you might think, well, it's just this and that, but you don't know until you actually communicate with that child. There's always room for improvement. If he didn't get the basketball position, why? Are you outside basketball, dribbling that ball every day? Are you putting the effort? Are you doing what a Michael Jordan would do? I mean, think about it. And I got to have those conversations because, that's real. I don't know what's going on in your family, but, feelings are feelings, but communicating with your children. And I think that is so important because, like I said, it all ties into also bullying, because if you don't feel good about you, you're going to make somebody else feel bad. See, that's not good either. You shouldn't do that. But it starts with the home. And I don't care what anyone says. Starts with home. Why? Because you have the control at home to do something. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got these adult kids and they're out of the home, you can make new beginnings, because hey, they also say that when you become grandparents, some of it's a little myth out there that's saying that they're better grandparents than they were parents. Some people, now I ain't a grandparent yet, okay? So I can't really relate to that one yet, because I think I'm gonna still be doing the same thing. Now probably when that ever happened, I'm not rushing it, to be honest with you, because I feel my children needs to be more mature, and they are selfish in a good way, and then could be a bad way. And I don't think you could bring another child or a child in the world to be like that. And there's certain things that you need to do as a person before you bring another person in this world. And so you don't give them a negative impact of during their upbringing. And I think my children are not at that stage yet. So to me, if they want to have children, yeah, that's fine. If not, I'm okay with that too, because I'd rather you be mentally okay before you go bring another child or a person in this world and you are not there or ready, or you don't have a team. Okay, nobody's trying to be perfect, but come on, we got to do better than what we're doing. So I have to say that to people, and I say this to my children. We talk about stuff. And they all want children, but like I said, my position is, then you need to change this. You got to be nice to this person. You can't just take this. Consider their feelings. Have consideration about somebody, and and be accountable. How's that? Be accountable for your actions. That's another thing. A lot of people don't even want to be accountable for their actions. And that's bad. That's not good. But, that's a learned behavior. Because they might have seen somebody else in the film. Well, he didn't admit that, and he did this or she did that. Why should I? It's a learned behavior, folks. We gotta do better. And start at home. Start having a conversation. Talk to your children. Turn off the TV. Social media goes off. Everything. And don't judge. Don't judge. Don't get mad, because you're not gonna like what comes out of their mouth sometime. I get it, because like I told you before, I be like, wow, seriously? Woo, okay, that's what's going on in your world. But you know what? It's amazing that I'm getting them to release that, and they are feeling comfortable to talk to me. And it's not just being a psychologist, people, because I was doing that before. I was always speaking to my children and talking to them, but I realized as they got older, and I had to pray about it now. I do have to pray about this. I said, let me pray so I won't work as much. I mean, I'm going to work, but let me not work as much so I can catch this adolescent age, because, these personalities form and you don't want to lose it because they're doing things and making decisions as independent individuals. And I prayed that God would just help me. Take a time out and say, okay, wait. Did you just say this was going on in your school and everything? Okay, now explain how that works. Because all my kids been somewhat bullied and we had to deal with it. And I know my kids be like, don't let mama get involved. Because I teach them to be better to others, to respect others, to be nice. And I'm always looking at my children like, look, you ain't no saint, because I see you in this house too. So don't go around acting like your stuff don't stink. Because no, I do get into my children. I'm not playing. But I also let them know, look, if this is happening, we need to speak about it. Oh, no, I don't need you to do. No. Because we have to stop it. Because there is some other things that's happening. And I remember, like I said, all three of my kids got bullied in one fashion or way, but I had to intervene, and I did. And to believe it or not, all those children that did it apologized. Isn't that something? They apologized to my children. I loved it. They apologized to me too. But it was really the fact that they acknowledged what they did and they weren't right. And I explained it too, just like I'm explaining it to you. Their parent didn't do it at that moment, but I did, because that's what kind of parent I am. All right. With that being said, I'm going to take a brief commercial and I'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Be right back, fam. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. It was an interesting moment for me at the time, because I really wasn't seeking someone, or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone, that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
Custody. A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts.
No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order!
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle. Even with your lies, I gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive.
This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K and Mr. G paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Welcome back, fam. Welcome back. Well, before I went on break, I was still talking about communications and family and bullying and relationships. The relationships that you should have with your child. And you know what? Let me tell you something. If you didn't have the best relationship with your parent during your upbringing, let me explain something to you. You can do it now. It's not over. Make new beginnings. Stop putting it like, oh, I missed the boat on that. Okay. So what happened was the relationship was bad because maybe there was a divorce. Maybe there was a mom that left or daddy that left or something happened. But it doesn't stop there, people. You could still have positive and productive relationships. As long as you're still living and you can breathe and God gives you that and the time has not ran out, take advantage of it. Seize the moment. Make new beginnings. Find out what else is going on with the person. You don't have to wait. Just say that you missed something and you can't do it. You can. There's people all over this world, haven't known their dad or their father, and then all of a sudden they find out who their real father is or their real mother is. They be trying to make a relationship with that and develop one. Be like those people, because there's nothing wrong with that. That's new beginnings. Sometimes it's even greater and you forget everything. But here's the key to that. You got to allow yourself to let go. You got to allow yourself to let go of the past so you can make new beginnings. And you can do that. That's just getting to know your child, or your grown child, or your new child, or a child that you did not know you had a child. You can still make new beginnings. Come on, people. We need to do better at parenting, because I really can't agree that a child is just born bad. I think we have the impact on that child, because a child can't feed itself. So if they need you to feed them, clothe them, wash them, bathe them, help them learn to speak, then why can't we help them be better people? Why can't we do that? Don't we have it into us to do that? And you do. So why don't we? And I have to stress that, because everybody asks, how do you change something? How do you make this generation better? It starts with you, me, the world that we are in. And that is a whole as society. We have to start treating people better. And maybe our young ones or our offspring will treat other people better. And we have to stop feeling better. And those bullies, you need to stop, because there's no room for you. And I mean that. Bullies, and it don't matter if somebody's bullying, it don't have to be a child, it's an adult. You don't like your life, you have no right to make somebody else not like their life. If you don't like your life, then go get help. Seek help so you can feel better about you. Why make somebody else feel bad because you don't? There is help for you. Call me. I help you. No judging. I don't judge. If you want to change something, I definitely help you do that. But if you don't, then there's nothing I can do, because you have to make that step. You got to take that step first. No one can make you do anything. And that is something I want to let you know. Nobody can. So let's be better at communicating, stop bullying, and stop judging. And let's love each other, or at least care about each other, because you can do that. I'm so glad, and I appreciate you guys tuning in today. And so I'm very blessed on that. So, and I have to say again, thank you, God, for giving me another day to do just what I love, sharing and caring. You're helping me, and I'm helping you. So, with that being said, we are in this together. You're not alone. I love you. If no one said it to you, I love you. I don't have to know you. I love your mind. And I'm trying to help you deal with this life that's called human error, maybe, because we mess up. but we get back on the road and we do better. Give yourself a chance to do better. Give yourself a chance. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. You can find me on Meleeka.com or drmeleekaclary.com website. And don't forget to check out that movie, Three Corners Deception, available on Prime Video. Thank you for all your support. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Tune in next week as Dr. Meleeka will help you shift towards a better life. But this show doesn't stop there. She'll provide helpful tips regarding surviving the entertainment industry and the judicial system with practical information. Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on the Bold Brave TV network.